What's up, guys? I wanted to show you guys one thing that I started implementing every day in order for me to stay consistent with the new habits that I was trying to build. Very simple to follow. I picked it up from the book Atomic Habits. If you guys haven't read it, I suggest you guys read it. And let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Listen, if this is something that you really want to put into effect in your life, you have to take action, take notes. Don't just get the information and don't do nothing about it. This will not work if you don't take daily steps. Actually, write it down on a piece of paper, take your notes, and actually implement it into your life. That's the only way it would work. That's with anything. If you don't implement it, it won't work. All right. So let's get into it. Implementation intention and habit stacking. Keep in mind, habit stacking is basically a version of implementation intention. All right. So they're both two powerful strategies to make a habit stick. Because if a habit doesn't stick, if it's too hard, we won't stick to it. That's why certain bad habits they become second nature because they're so easy and they provide a right away a hit of dopamine, instant gratification, instant hit of dopamine, and makes us want to keep doing it and doing it and doing it again. Implementation intention. What is it? A plan that spells out when, where, and how a habit will happen. It also uses if then statements. So, like the formula for this would be if we're talking about the time and location, the formula is I will, the habit that you're trying to perform, the habit that you're trying to get good at time, in location. And then if you use it in the if then version, it's if blank situation happens, then I will implement my new habit. And as we go on in the other slides, I'll show you examples of that. Why it works. It removes guesswork, creates a clear trigger, makes action automatic instead of relying on willpower. This goes back and ties in into what I was saying. This is why bad habits are so easy to keep doing it. It becomes automatic. And once it becomes automatic, your brain sends it to the non conscious mind, which is why you don't think about it. You smoke weed, you don't really think about it as you're rolling up and sparking up. You sit down and watch TV, you don't really think about it, you just do it. You spaz out on somebody when you're driving, have some road rage, you don't think about it, you just do it. Becomes a habit. Implementation and testing examples. Like I said before, the formula is I will, action, at time, in location. Or if situation happens, then I will, new habit. So you can't have it be like I'll exercise more or I'll go to the gym or I'll read a book. It it's you're just speaking words. You're not putting an action into those words, which is why some people set goals and they never accomplish those goals because they don't make it specific enough to when, where they're gonna do it or how. If what situation happens, how, when would they do it? Implementation intention example. So, like I was saying, formula I will, action at time, in location. Or if situation blank happens, then I will, new habit. It can't be I'll exercise more or I'll go to the gym or I'll read a book. It doesn't have an action to it. This is why most people set goals and they never achieve it because they're just speaking words. They're not putting actions into how they're gonna get it done. So this is what it should look like. If I leave work early, that's the situation, then I will go to the gym near my job. That's the new habit or the new action that you're implementing. The second one would be like, I will exercise for an hour. That's the action at 3 p.m. That's the time in location. That's in location is after work. So I will exercise for an hour at 3 p.m. After work is the location. It takes the thinking out of the equation. You already know what you're gonna do. So if I know that I'm gonna exercise for an hour at 3 p.m. after work, what's there to think about? You feel me? But you gotta write this on paper and map out your day, structure your day properly. That way you know what you're doing each time of the day. Leave the thinking out of the equation. There's no reason to be thinking about what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What time am I gonna do this? What time am I gonna do that? It's on paper, on your phone. You know what you're doing each second of the day. Habit stacking. Okay, let's get into habit stacking. Like I said, habit stacking is a version of implementation intention. It's connecting a new habit to an existing habit, which uses the after then statements, which basically would be after current habit, I will new habit. Why it works? It builds on a routine you do already, uses current habits as a reliable anchors, and makes new habits easier to remember. Habit stacking example, existing habit. I make coffee every morning. Here it is. Your new habit would be something like after I make my coffee, I'll write three things I'm grateful for. One for me is like after I wake up in the morning, I will brush my teeth. After I brush, but think about it, this is like a shame. So once you get good at it, you start with one. Once you get good at it, you start stacking on top of it, which is why it's called habit stacking. So if your new habit is after I make coffee, I'll write three things I'm grateful for. Then after you get good at it and it becomes a habit, you say, okay, I could add something else to it. Then you stack something else on top of it. Like, so it'll look like this. After I make coffee, I'll write three things I'm grateful for. After I write three things I'm grateful for, I will put my gym shoes on. After I put my gym shoes on, I will go to the gym. After I go to the gym, I will exercise for an hour. You stack on things that you already do each day. Again, takes the thinking of the equation. This is my favorite version of doing it because it allows me to add something on every single thing that I do throughout the day. So, for example, I wake up in the morning. After I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth. After I brush my teeth, I will do 50 push ups. After I do 50 push ups, I will write a prayer down on my journal. After I write a prayer down on my journal, I will write a journal page. After I write my journal page, I will listen to Jim Rohn. After I listen to Jim Rohn, I will make my coffee. After I make my coffee, I'll make my breakfast. After I make my breakfast, I will go, I'll, I'll eat it. After I eat my breakfast, and it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. I don't know why this slide came off. Let me see if I can figure it out. All right, we're back. So the key difference, implementation intensive, time, place, if, then, habit stacking, anchor to a current habit, after, then is the formula. But don't get it wrong, habit stacking is just a version of implementation intention. Like I said, you could either choose to do time, place, or if this happens, then I'll do this. Or you could just stack it on top of something that you already do, which is my favorite way of doing it. So, key takeaways, both strategies. It reduces friction, it builds consistency, it helps habits stick for the long run. It removes thinking out of the equation. If you already do something every morning, every day, and you just sit at a task that you'll do either before or after, it's something that becomes second nature so fast that you wouldn't even believe it. And it'll allow you to stay consistent. And it helps the stack is stick for the long run, obviously, which is what we want. All right. So I really hope you guys took some notes and really start implementing this into your day. Really hope it made sense. And like I said, it's helped me be able to start changing my life and actually start seeing the results and stay consistent. Because you could take all the action in the world, but if you don't stay consistent, the action is not gonna you're not gonna see results from that action. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Keep your head up.